Get ready to travel back in time to witness one of the bloodiest and most controversial religious conflicts in history, the Crusades. In the 11th century, the Catholic Church launched a series of religious wars with one primary objective: to regain control of the Holy Land from the Muslim forces that had taken it over. The Crusaders, also known as Christian fighters, were a motley crew of brave European knights who volunteered to risk their lives for the holy cause. The Crusades lasted for almost 2 centuries, with numerous battles and sieges fought between Christian and Muslim forces. Although the Crusaders achieved some military victories, they ultimately failed to achieve their primary goal of permanently retaking the Holy Land. In the end, the cost of the Crusades was immense, both in terms of human lives lost and resources expended. The First Crusade was a military expedition launched by the Christian forces of Western Europe in response to the Muslim conquest of Jerusalem in 1071. The Crusaders were led by several prominent European nobles, including Godfrey of Bouillon, Raymond of Toulouse, and Beaumont of Taranto. The Crusade began in 1096 with the gathering of a massive army in Europe, consisting of knights, soldiers, and peasants. The Crusaders traveled through Europe, crossing the Balkans and Asia Minor before reaching the Holy Land. They faced significant challenges during their journey, including harsh weather conditions, bandit attacks, and disease outbreaks. Upon reaching the Holy Land, the Crusaders launched a series of successful military campaigns, capturing key cities such as Antioch and Jerusalem. The fall of Jerusalem in 1099 was a significant victory for the Crusaders, who established the Kingdom of Jerusalem as a Christian state in the region. The success of the First Crusade was due to several factors, including superior military tactics, political alliances with local Christian groups, and disunity among the Muslim forces. However, the Crusaders' victory came at a significant cost, with countless lives lost and immense damage inflicted on the lands they conquered. The First Crusade marked the beginning of a long and tumultuous period of conflict between Christians and Muslims in the Middle East. The legacy of the Crusade is complex, with some viewing it as a noble effort to protect Christianity, while others see it as an unjustifiable act of aggression against the Muslim world. Nonetheless, the First Crusade remains a significant event in world history, marking the beginning of centuries of religious and political conflict in the region. The Crusades led to the deaths of countless people, both soldiers and civilians. The First Crusade, for example, resulted in the deaths of thousands of people in the Holy Land and along the Crusaders' route. The Crusades led to significant damage to property and infrastructure in the regions they affected. Cities and towns were sacked, and fields and crops were destroyed, leading to widespread famine and economic hardship. The Crusaders often engaged in violence and persecution against non-Christians, particularly Jews and Muslims. This led to widespread fear and mistrust, and created long-lasting tensions between different religious groups. The Crusades led to the destruction of cultural artifacts and landmarks in the regions they affected. Many priceless artworks, manuscripts, and other cultural treasures were lost or destroyed. The Crusades also led to the spread of disease, as soldiers and civilians traveled long distances and came into contact with people from different regions. This contributed to the spread of epidemics, such as the Black Death. The Crusades led to significant political changes in both Europe and the Middle East. In Europe, the growth of trade and commerce that resulted from the Crusades contributed to the emergence of capitalist economies and the decline of feudalism. In the Middle East, the Crusades led to the weakening of the Muslim states and the emergence of new political powers. It also led to increased cultural exchange between Europe and the Middle East. The Crusaders were exposed to new ideas and technologies, which they brought back to Europe, leading to significant advancements in fields such as science, medicine, and architecture. Also, the long-lasting tensions between Christians and Muslims, which persist to this day, can be traced back to the Crusades. The violence and persecution that occurred during the Crusades led to deep-seated mistrust and fear between the two religious groups, contributing to ongoing conflicts in the Middle East and around the world. The legacy of the Crusades is complex and multifaceted. Some view them as a noble and courageous effort to defend Christianity, while others see them as a barbaric and unjustifiable aggression against the Muslim world. Regardless of one's perspective, the Crusades represent a significant chapter in human history, marked by religious conflict, political intrigue, and military conquest. If you like this video, you'll love the books. Check them out on Amazon by searching up Scott Matthews.